Hello, what the heck to posters. I am just sitting here thinking about you. As I'm filming this, I just found out that Instagram is actually, let me give you some context. A few months ago, Instagram started hiding likes in Canada. So in other words, if you are in Canada and you check on Instagram, you actually cannot see how many likes your colleagues are getting on images. And they've been testing this for a few months now. I believe the results have been quite positive, and so now Instagram is testing this on within more countries. So now, if you're, I don't know, I can't remember the exact countries, but if you're in Canada, I think it's Australia, New Zealand. I want to say Japan. I don't know why that's in my memory, but there's quite a few major countries that are big time Instagram users that now cannot see how many likes their competitors or their colleagues or their friends or whoever it is are getting. And there's some backlash to this. People aren't loving this because I think Instagram or influencer marketing is getting pretty huge. We make a lot of decisions as to whether or not we should bring people onto podcasts or things like that based off of likes. So now we're going to have to be thinking of other metrics to measure this by, which personally I think is a great thing. I am not freaking out about this. I think this is amazing. And I'll talk more about this, I'm sure, soon. But I just think it's going to take the pressure off of you guys, right? Now you're going to stop judging your content based off of likes, which I have said from the beginning is such a major mistake. It's one of the reasons I talk about meaningful interaction and include way more metrics in that than just likes, right? So for me, if you're focusing on meaningful interaction and you know what that looks like and how to measure it, you are so far ahead in the game. So the fact that you're in What the Heck to Post, first of all, is really going to help you with this new change. But it also brings up something else. Like if we're measuring, I think it brings up discovery and how people consider us credible. And I think now getting discovered in the Discover tabs on Instagram or being found in Instagram searches is now more important than ever. For anyone who doesn't know, the Discovery tab is at the bottom of your feed. It's the little magnifying glass right there. And then in searches, I literally mean when you search for a feed. So like now I'm in my search. I don't know if you can see that. I'm in my search. I can go up here into my search engine and search health coach, and a bunch of health coaches will come up. So the big question today is how to become more likely to show up in those searches. And that's what we're talking about. So I want to give you a few tips. I've written some notes down so that I don't blabber. I think I have about 6 that you should be doing to make sure that you're showing up in search results. Okay, so first of all, we need to understand how the algorithm determines whether or not you show up in a search. And me searching for health coach on Instagram, I will get different results than you searching for health coaches on Instagram because the results that come up are based off of a few different things, including some things we're going to talk about today, but also who you follow, the relationships you have, your location, who you engage with, who's posting relevant content to what you browse or look for. So for example, even like for What the Heck to Post, you know, I send you an image library every week. There's a ton of quotes and graphics in there. And for that reason, if I go onto my Discovery tab, you better believe, even though I'm not liking other people's quotes and graphics when I search for these, the algorithm still knows I am searching for that because I am spending time on that content. I am screenshotting that content to share with you. I am reading captions. I'm spending time with it, even if I don't engage with it. So it is still showing up in my Discovery tab. So if all of these factors is what Instagram is looking at to determine what gets pushed to you, how can you take that information, leverage it, so that the people who could benefit from your services are finding you, the coach watching this, when they search for you. So, okay, tip 1, and again, I've written down notes. Tip 1, you have to leverage Instagram bio SEO, and I'm going to give you an example of that right now. In fact, I'm just going to share my screen. This is going to be easier. So this is my page, right? This is right here is one of the most important parts of your bio because this is basically one of the key ways Instagram categorizes you. I see a lot of people say their handle is their name, and then they put their name here too, because when you edit this, it says in the back end, name. So everyone's like, okay, that's my name. No, don't put your name there. If people were to search for you on Google, what would they type? They type health coach. Would they type marketing coach? Would they type business coach? Whatever that is for you, put that there. For me, I change this all the time, and I ask people how they found me. And a lot of times I hear people say, oh, I Googled social media for coaches, so that's how you came up. So usually this says social media for coaches, but recently I've been getting a lot of referrals, and sometimes I know people are like, oh, her first name is Sophia, but I don't know her last name. So I've changed it to now it says Sophia, and then it says social media expert, so that I'm leveraging as many keywords as possible. The keywords being my name and then social media. So make sure that this line right here is not just your name, especially if your handle is your name. Make sure you're using keywords. Tip number 2 is to also think about your bio in the same way. While your name, this part is the most important part of this whole formula, the algorithm is also looking at this section and making sure and wanting, to know what kind of, or is filtering you based on the keywords that you use. So maybe it's a hashtag that you very much align with. I do worry about that a little bit. Maybe that's a different video. But make sure you're using keywords, right? So speak to the pain points that you solve. Speak to the benefits that you provide. In fact, I have another example of this. This is Gold. This is a beauty company. But I just kind of noticed, I thought that they were doing this really well. If you see their bio is superfood, health, and beauty for everybody. Right in there, there's a few keywords people would be looking for to find them. So they've put that in their bio. Then they wrote shop at Sephora. I don't even know what UO is. I'm so behind on the cool kid stuff. Shop at Sephora, UO, Goop, and your fave local spots. I think this person, whoever did this, could take it one step up a notch and actually tag Sephora and Goop, because then people who are already following Sephora, Instagram then knows, oh, these 2 feeds are linked. So because of that relationship that they have, they're more likely to show up in a discovery tab too, just if you have those tags in your bio. So just to recap what we've talked about so far, make sure you're leveraging the name right here. What are people searching for? And speak to pain points and problems that people might be searching for more information around, to make it clear, A, I have answers for you here, and B, if the algorithm is using that content to sort you, they have keywords to help them. Okay. Number 3, I'm gonna unshare you. Number 3, add location tags, because again, Instagram is looking for relationships, right? So if I'm constantly tagging New York City, I would imagine that my target audience who lives in this area, I will be prioritized simply because we have relational, we are in relation to one another, so we might be considered relevant depending on what they're searching for. Instagram pays attention to that stuff. So just give Instagram as much information as possible to make sure that you have a higher chance of showing up in someone's feed. So again, add location tags, give them information. Also, if people are searching for your location, if people are searching for coaches in New York, again, you're just giving Instagram, the algorithm, information to filter you and put you at the top, compared to someone else who might not be putting New York, is doing all the other things but not be putting New York. They're less likely to be pushed to this person than I am, simply because I gave the algorithm information to categorize me. Number 4 would be update your business information so that it's correct. You know how when you update your profile, you can call yourself, this is specific for people who are doing business profiles, and if you're not, you should be. Like if you look on my Instagram handle, right underneath my name where it says Sophia Social Media Expert, I have public figure. That's the I can't show it on the computer, so I can't demonstrate this, but that's the category I'm looking at right now. I was just looking at a client, actually What the Heck's Post member, and let me show you her page. I was noticing that underneath, she had categorized herself as a book. So right here, you see how there's that category right underneath the name, book. She has written a book, yes, but her page is about marketing her coaching services, not her book. So because she has categorized herself as a book, she is now being filtered specifically for people looking for books and not for coaching. So make sure that you are categorized as specifically as you possibly can, depending on how you are putting yourself out there. I'm really interested in speaking events and podcasts at the moment, so I've categorized myself as public figure instead of coach or service, because I think for what I'm most interested in being considered for, I would like to be categorized as such by the algorithm. Number 5 is IGTV. Just by being on IGTV, you're leveraging the algorithm, because that feature is being pushed more than any other feature. It's Instagram's newest feature at the moment. Instagram wants as many people as possible to use it. So if you're using IGTV, Instagram is going to give you some algorithm favor because you are helping them. You are showcasing how IGTV works, and that is good for them and their business. So, but if you are on IGTV and not thinking about how you're titling your videos or writing your descriptions, you're really missing out on an opportunity for the algorithm to understand how to categorize you and your content and make it more possible for it to be found by the people who are looking for content like yours. So for example, I posted a video about 4 things you can do to get in front of more people with your content, and I titled it, I think I said it was like 4 ways to get more engagement. Right? So that way, if people are looking for tips around engagement, my video is more likely to pop up because of that. I then wrote out a description walking through all of the pain points that I'm solving, just so that I could put in as many buzzwords, as many words as people might be searching for or looking for help around as possible, so that A, if people stumbled on my content and read my description, they'd watch it. But B, while I don't think Instagram's algorithm is advanced enough to pick up on all the intricacies of a description yet, they will be. They're on their way. They've already made such incredible advancements on this that I'm preparing myself to have content that can be pushed, because I'm thinking about how the algorithm works and how I can best categorize myself to be a resource or a tool to the people who I think I can really help and who I know are actively searching for me. Okay, and finally, number 6 is to follow and engage and collaborate with complementary brands. I hate that word, complementary brands. I just read it and now it's in my head. But what I basically mean is people that are aligned with you. So if you're a health coach and you know people out there, let's be more specific, you're a fitness coach and you know that people who are in your ideal audience would be interested in improving their health, right? You might definitely be collaborating and engaging and even following people that are nutrition coaches, mindset coaches, people that speak to overall health. So that way bigger brands like, let's say, let's use me as an example, right? Like I know I speak about Instagram all the time, but we also know that Boss Babe is a massive company that talks about Instagram a lot. So simply by following them, engaging with them, maybe even reaching out to them and finding ways we can collaborate in some way, like by my relationship with them, other people who might have never heard about me but are all about Boss Babe, because they follow Boss Babe and because Boss Babe and I are interacting, I might be suggested to them as well because of my relationship with Boss Babe and because of my ideal client's relationship with Boss Babe. Do you see how the algorithm can see this potential triangle? And because Boss Babe and I have a relationship, the algorithm can then suggest me to my ideal client who doesn't know about me, but who does know about Boss Babe. Whoa! That was so confusing, but I think you understand what I'm saying. Instagram is looking for relationships, right? And when they understand your relationship with someone, they're more likely to push the right people to you and vice versa. So 6 things, kind of confusing, but I hope that there's a few things in there I know you can do right now today, and I really hope that you will start, because the algorithm is changing daily. Just this massive testing is evidence of that. I also am seeing engagement drop at records like I've never seen before. which just means we need to be thinking about this stuff more and be more strategic with all of our content. And you're in the right place for that, so no stress there. But if you have a moment, I hope that you implement these tips because I think that they're going to really help with your discoverability in the long term. All right, folks, that's all. I'll speak to you soon.